Hello and welcome to Clearview Television News. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, calls for better funding of local government councils in the country, demands upward review of revenue allocation to the third tier of government. A widow in SULEJA cries out for justice over the gruesome killing of her 3 children under controversial circumstances. Prince Harry's wife, Meghan says she contemplated suicide after joining the royal family, raising once more allegations of racism in the British monarchy. I am Prudence O'Connell with the details of these and more stories. Nigerian women on Monday in Abuja joined their counterparts across the world to mark this year's International Women's Day with the theme Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 World.
As Nigerian women gather to take stock of their role in national development, one issue that continues to pervade the discussion is the harsh economic condition women in the country are made to go through, despite their unique role and contributions to national growth. UNES Executive Director Winnie Bayanyima kickstarted the discussion, posing several questions on the plight of Nigerian women that are still begging for attention by government.
Who is facing the brunt? Who is meeting the harshest impacts of this virus, this health, economic and social crisis? The worst impacts are being experienced by women. Women living in poverty, older women, women with disability, women living with HIV, my mandate of ending HIV. It is women always facing the harshest brunt. Look at our continent. Who has lost jobs? Who has lost jobs? It's women in the informal sector have lost their livelihoods.
The Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Tallen, said the time has come for a rethink, noting that attempts at frustrating the education of the girl child should no longer be condoned.
As we rejoice over the release of the recently abducted students and teachers of Government Science Secondary School, Kagara, Niger State, and the girls from Government Girls Science Secondary School, Jemgebe in Talata Marafa Local Government of Zamfara State, we must continue to condemn this unacceptable trend of using our innocent children as hostages by bandits or insurgents, by whatever standard. Enough is enough. This is a setback in the gains made in advancing the girl child education in the country, which for us is the fulcrum of national development.
Despite the challenges that came under scrutiny, the Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed said the federal government has over the years made concerted efforts to right the wrongs and ameliorate the plight of Nigerian women.
We must also give women the opportunities and the tools with which to be socially, financially, and economically empowered. Every woman and girl should be guaranteed safety in their respective homes, in schools, in communities, and in places of work.
Also speaking, UN Nigeria's resident coordinator Edward Kalun said this year's International Women's Day is apt, given the importance placed on the challenges facing women during the COVID-19 pandemic.
As we celebrate progress and achievements, we must, however, also recognize the continued challenges that women and girls face in Nigeria, including those that have been created by the COVID-19 crisis. The theme for the International Women's Day this year is Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 World. This is placing a tremendous emphasis on efforts of women and girls around the world in shaping a more equal future and recovering from COVID-19 pandemic.
The various key speakers particularly challenge women to come together if they must make impact at all levels of public governance in the country. The Director General of the National Center for Women Development, MEGHAN, says the federal government through the center has empowered 7,000 women
and youths with various skills and equipment, and trained more than 2,000 women and girls in skills as part of efforts to tackle poverty among this category of Nigerians. She has, however, challenged women to take more active part in public governance by using their civic rights and responsibility to advance their interest in all aspects of national life. The Director General stated this while speaking at this year's celebration of the International Women's Day held by the Center in Abuja. Clearview-TV's MEGHAN was there and now reports.
At an event to mark the 2021 International Women's Day in Abuja, the Director General, National Center for Women's Development, MEGHAN, went down memory on events that led to the adoption of the day to honor women. Drawing from this year's theme to mark the day, MEGHAN said, the center is already mobilizing women and young girls at the grassroots to know their civil rights, as well as empowering them to become relevant in the scheme of things.
One important area of focus for us is the documentation of unpaid aid workers in Nigeria, which we are currently carrying out in collaboration with the National Bureau of Statistics to reduce the burden of unpaid care workers on women. As we celebrate this day, I would like us to spare a thought for the many women and girls in our country who have endured inequality, suffering, hardship, and in some cases have paid the supreme sacrifice to ensure that our community move on. Today, we salute the resilience of the Nigerian women who had stood firm in her resolve to produce a great nation and choose to challenge all existing gap and discrimination.
While noting that the International Women's Day has helped to create a historic legacy of advancing the status of women worldwide, the Director General seized the opportunity to congratulate Nigeria's former finance minister for emerging as the first female African to head the World Trade Organization, WTO. She therefore challenged Nigerian women to show more interest in public governance. A.K. Mercy, Clearview Television.
A widow and the mother of 3 children whose lives were snuffed out and their bodies dumped in a water tank in SULEJA, Niger State, is crying for justice. The woman, Aro Chinedum, is still finding it difficult to come to terms with the gruesome death of her children and has therefore called on the authorities to act fast and bring the perpetrators to book.
Man left me with that keys. They come and carry the keys away. It's only me now. I don't have anybody. Again, it's only me.
She is indeed feeling the pangs of sorrow that is better imagined than experienced. Only a few days ago, Aro Chinedum must have been a happy mother of 3 healthy children. But the story is not so now, as the 3 children have been gruesomely murdered. Aro Chinedum had left home last Saturday for her petty trading, leaving the children behind in the care of the houseboy. She returned to face the sad reality of the disappearance of her children. Thorough search in the neighborhood to ascertain the whereabouts of the children yielded no result, until the sad truth about the children was discovered. It was on Sunday morning, when the houseboy went to the tap to get water, that it was discovered that instead of water, blood began to come out of the tap. Chidozie, 9 years, Chidubem, 6 years, and Chidima, 3 years, were all found dead in the tank with knife cuts all over them. Many questions begging for answers in these most dehumanizing and agonizing murders are: what could have led to the murders of 3 innocent children? Who are those behind these dastardly acts? How could these murders have taken place within the compound of 10 flats without the perpetrator or perpetrators being caught or seen? The compound has been deserted and quiet like a graveyard, as tenants have remained within the confines of their rooms, not willing or ready to answer questions from anyone. However, the Niger State Police Command said investigations are on to unravel the killer of the children. Aro Chinedum lost her husband only 2 years ago. For her to lose 3 children at once is indeed a nightmare. She called on the government to bring the killer of her children to justice.
If Nigeria help me to identify those people that kill my children, I will be the happiest person in this world.
Indeed, the heart of man is desperately wicked. The pain of Chinedum is better imagined than experienced. We pray God to grant her the strength to bear this disaster.
And the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, has again called for better funding of the local government councils in the country for them to deliver on their mandates to the people at the grassroots. Addressing the annual retreat of the association in Lagos, the national president, Kolade Alabi, advocated an upward review of the current revenue allocation formula in favor of the third tier of government.
The Lagos annual retreat presented yet another opportunity for ALGON members to take a second look at the role of local government councils in promoting national development. For the ALGON national president, Kolade Alabi, there is no way the councils can meet public expectations unless the current revenue sharing formula from the Federation was reviewed to make funds available to the councils.
We are here for us to develop a 5-year strategic developmental plan and positioning ALGON. And there's a lot of takeaway. What we want to achieve and what we want to do is to change the narrative so that we can have a viral local government that Nigerians should be proud of.
Among speakers at the retreat was the Director General Governors Forum of Nigeria, who addressed the participants by Zoom. Participants at the retreat, while welcoming the initiative, expressed confidence that lessons learned and the experiences shared at the retreat will enable them to discharge their responsibilities more effectively for the benefit of the people.
The money that is allocated to local government and state is too small for development. If we want development in this country, we just have to look into that area and begin to think on how to review the sharing formula.
It's the first of its kind. It's a retreat for ALGON, particularly to re-strategize and produce a framework. ALGON needs to properly synergize, and we found the need to break the house and begin to rebuild again.
This program that we have just started is to reposition and rebrand ALGON. And what essentially we want to do is to ensure that ALGON is taken to the next level.
Recollect that the Association of Local Government of Nigeria, ALGON, under the leadership of Honorable Kolade Alabi, says there is need for urgent improvement in the standard of living for the rural populace as a panacea to security challenges in rural communities. He made a remark at its National Executive Council NEC meeting held in Abuja. Alabi assured the rural dwellers in the country of better days after association's strategic visit to Morocco of the United European Fund.
And Prince Harry's wife, Meghan Markle, says she contemplated taking her own life after joining the royal family and raised allegations of racism in the monarchy during an explosive television interview. Explaining the couple's dramatic exit from royal family, Meghan said she was denied help during her mental health crisis, was targeted by lies, and that there was official concern about the skin color of her unborn son. Meghan, whose father is white and mother black, spoke out in an interview with Oprah Winfrey that immediately became one of the most extraordinary chapters in recent royal history and was set to rock the British institution. Meghan, 39, also told of royal concerns about how dark her son's skin would be, saying Harry revealed to her official conversations over Aki's appearance, as well as the security he would be entitled to ahead of his birth on May 6, 2019. Meanwhile, tennis superstar Serena Williams and poet Amanda Gorman led an outpouring of support for Meghan Markle following her explosive allegations of racism in the British royal family. In a 2-hour interview with Oprah Winfrey, Markle, whose mother is black, said her husband, Prince Harry, revealed his family's concerns over how dark her son Aki's skin would be.
Thoughts? Yes, this was very, very clear. very clear and very scary. And, you know, I didn't know who to even turn to in that. These are the thoughts that I'm having in the middle of the night that are very clear.
Clarification.
And I'm scared because this is very real. This isn't some abstract idea. This is methodical, and this is not who I am. In those months when I was pregnant, all around this same time, so we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What? And you're not going to tell me who had the conversation?
I think that would be very damaging to them.
There's a lot to work through there. You know, I feel really let down because he's been through something similar. He knows what pain feels like, and Archie's his grandson. But at the same time, you know, of course, I will always love him. But there's a lot of hurt that's happened.
And that will be all, but before we go, a look at our top stories. The Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, has demanded an upward review of revenue allocation to the third tier of government from the Federation account. ALGON's national president, Kolade Alabi, told a retreat in Lagos that better funding is the only guarantee for local government councils to deliver on their mandate to the people at the grassroots. A distraught widow has cried out for justice with an appeal to the authorities to help track down the killers of her 3 children aged 9, 6, and 3. Bodies of the 3 slain children were found dumped in a water tank inside their living home, which they share with neighbors in SULEJA, Niger State. We also told you that Prince Harry's wife, Meghan Markle, said she had contemplated taking her own life after joining the royal family, a development that has once more raised allegations of racism in the British monarchy. In an explosive television interview with Oprah Winfrey, Meghan said she exited royal life because she was denied help during her mental health crisis. Remember, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Clearview-Tv, like us on Facebook at Clearview Television, follow us on Instagram at Clearview-TV_NG. You can follow us on Twitter at Clearview Online. I'm Prudence Okona. Many thanks for watching.